Okay, let's talk about something that I think we've all been through. That feeling of being stuck in a loop, especially with relationships. It's so frustrating, right? But what if I told you it's not just bad luck? What if there's a fundamental law of the universe making it happen? I mean, seriously, have you ever felt this? You finally end things with someone who was, say, emotionally unavailable, and you're so relieved, only for the next person you meet to be, surprise, also emotionally unavailable. Or maybe for you, it's attracting friends who always seem to betray your trust. It feels like a curse, but it's a pattern. And today, we are going to decode exactly why it happens. All right, so the key to breaking these cycles is understanding something called the law of resonance. The whole idea is simple but powerful. The universe isn't random. It's actually a giant mirror, reflecting your own inner world right back at you. Here's the core of it. Every single person who comes into your life, every single one, is there because their energy resonates with yours. They are a direct physical match to the emotional and energetic frequency you are broadcasting out into the world. You can think of your frequency as your default emotional weather. You know, the feelings and beliefs that are always simmering just under the surface. So let's get a bit more formal with the definition here. The law of resonance isn't about just thinking positive thoughts and hoping for the best. Nope, it's about your dominant state. Imagine you're a radio tower, constantly sending out a signal. The universe is like a radio receiver. It can only pick up the frequency you're actually broadcasting, not the one you wish you were. And this is probably the most important part to really get. You can want love, you can want respect, you can want stability with every fiber of your being. But if your internal reality, your actual energetic frequency is vibrating with self-doubt or fear or a deep down feeling of unworthiness, well, that's the signal you're sending. And that's what the universe has to match. So if our conscious desires aren't running the show, then what is? Well, for that, we have to go deeper. We need to look at the real architect of our reality, and that is the subconscious mind. This comparison right here is everything. Your conscious mind, that's where your goals and your hopes live. But your subconscious mind, that's where the really powerful stuff is stored. We're talking your deepest held beliefs, your unresolved emotions, all that old programming. The vast majority of your energetic frequency comes from here. It's the real driver in the driver's seat. So what exactly is in this subconscious vault of yours? Well, it's holding on to all those childhood imprints, those repetitive patterns you've been running your whole life, and especially those old stories you've told yourself so many times you don't even realize they're just stories. And here's the kicker. We attract people who perfectly light up these stored patterns, almost like a spotlight, giving us the chance to finally see them and maybe, just maybe, rewrite them. And this leads us to this really powerful way of looking at things. If our subconscious is the one making these connections, then the people we meet, especially the difficult ones, are basically acting as mirrors for our hidden inner world. Okay, really let this next part sink in, because it's a huge perspective shift. We like to think we see people objectively, for who they really are. But we don't, not even close. We see everyone through a filter made of our own past. Our own unprocessed experiences, wounds, fears, and beliefs. And that right there is why certain people can trigger us so intensely. They're not creating a new feeling, they're activating something that's already inside of us, waiting to be seen. This brings us to a really cool concept called the shadow. The shadow is basically all the parts of ourselves that we've decided are unacceptable. The anger we push down, the neediness we're ashamed of, the vulnerability we're terrified to show. And what happens when we refuse to own these parts of ourselves? We project them. We start seeing them everywhere, in everyone else. So let's break down what's actually happening when you get triggered. An interaction with someone shines a light on one of these shadow parts. Suddenly, an unhealed piece of you is brought to the surface. And here's the most important step. You're being handed an invitation from the universe to look at that wound, to integrate that part of yourself, and to finally heal it. And this is the beautiful, mind-bending paradox of it all. That person who drives you absolutely crazy, the one who challenges you more than anyone on the planet, they're not your problem. They are your greatest teacher. They are holding the key to your next breakthrough because they are forcing your wounds into the light so you can finally heal and move forward. Okay, so now we get the why. We see the mechanism. But just understanding it isn't enough, right? The real magic happens when we shift from being a passive victim of our patterns to becoming a conscious creator of our reality. Just look at the difference here. When we're in unconscious creation, it's all about blaming others, getting stuck in the same cycles, and just reacting to whatever life throws at us. But when we step into conscious creation, we take ownership. We say, this is my reality. What's my part in it? We use our awareness to start new timelines, to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. This is how you take your power back. And let me be super clear about this. This is not just some nice psychological metaphor. It is an energetic reality. The world around you is constantly physically organizing itself to match the frequency you're putting out. Your reality is a literal feedback loop. So how do you change what shows up in your life? You have to change your internal state. It's an inside job, 100%. You can't attract respect from other people if you don't fundamentally honor yourself first. You can't find real, lasting love if you haven't become a source of love for yourself. Every single thing you are looking for out there, it has to be generated in here first. And you want to know the best part? The universe doesn't have a lag time. The second you genuinely shift your internal frequency, the moment you truly embody a new belief or heal an old wound, your external reality begins to reorganize itself around that new signal. The response can be immediate. So, if you take one thing away today, let it be this. No encounter is an accident. Every single person you meet from this moment forward is a message. They're a mirror reflecting a part of yourself back to you. So the question is, now that you know the secret, are you ready to stop being mad at the mirror and start listening to the message?